All right, my sisters and brothers from other mothers, it's time to build this baby. So we've got our plans here. I think our best bet is going to be to work on kind of the side of the trebuchet first. So we're going to refer here to our elevation, and we're going to build this triangle. There's all different sorts of wood we could use for this build, but we're going to use this 2x12 pine that we already have in the shop. The first thing I'm going to do is rip it down the middle. So I'm going to cut with the grain. I'm going to rip it, and I'll do that on the table saw, and then I'm going to cross cut it over on the chop saw. Here we go. Here I'm using the table saw to rip the piece of wood. Ripping is just a fancy word for cutting a piece of wood with the grain. Here I'm using the chop saw to cut across the grain. When we cut across the grain, this is called cross cutting. We've got the wood ripped to width and cross cut to length now. I noticed something though when we were ripping this piece of wood. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's pretty bowed. I'm not sure you can see it. Maybe you can see it this angle. But the wood's really going up like this. And that's going to be a problem, I think, because we're going to put our cross piece, or our upright, I mean, not our cross piece, our upright is going to go like this. And that's going to kind of change the height of things. So what I'm going to do is run this piece through the joiner, and I'll run the other one through the table saw to make sure they're about the same width. All right. The joiner's a fancy tool used to flatten out pieces of wood. We've now got our horizontal piece, our base, and our post, our upright. So we'll drill a hole in here, right here, and then our arm is going to swing. If you can see in the picture here, our arm's going to swing up like this. The next step, I think, is going to be to drill a hole. So let's take our posts over to the drill press and let's drill them both at the same time. Before I drill the hole, I'm going to mark out its location on the post. Once I have the location marked, I'm going to nail both pieces of wood together so the hole ends up in the same place. Before we drill the hole in our uprights for our pivot point, we need to figure out the diameter of the pipe that we're going to use. So to do that, there's a lot of ways we could do this, but the easiest way is just to take a tape measure, and I'm going to go to the end of the pipe here. I'm going to look at the end of the pipe, and I'm just going to measure from the widest point. And it looks to me like it's just a little bit over an inch. Here, I'm drilling 1 1/8" hole in the two pieces of wood we've nailed together. The hole shouldn't end up on the same place. I made a mistake though. I couldn't drill all the way through, so I had to drill another hole, flip the two posts over, and re-drill it. Finally, the posts are pulled apart and ready to go.